OP's therapist told her mom that she's psychotic. TOMC November 26, 22. Originally posted by Witty Currency 6095 in R. True Off My Chest on November 26, 22. Updated within the same post. Undated. Original post. My therapist told my mom that I'm a psychotic. I've 23. Female. Have been seeing my therapist. Well, call her Sarah for 6 months now. She's wonderful. She helps me work through so much and I honestly love her. We've worked through a lot together and I am truly blessed to have her in my life as a therapist. Well, all that changed when I was at Thanksgiving dinner, and keep in mind I never see my mom. We don't have a great relationship. She's the main reason for my therapy. However, I decided to go because my dad and I are close and he invited me. I was eating the dinner and talking to my family and my mom rolled her eyes at everything I said. Every time I came near her, she'd flinch like I was going to hit her. I am not a violent person. Yes, I have thoughts of hurting people, but I don't think I could ever act on those thoughts. Anyway, when I was talking to my aunt, she said that she heard I was in therapy, and I looked at my mom who had barely touched her food and her eyes stayed down. I knew she told the whole family. I said yes. My aunt looked at me, dead in the eyes, and asked, "Have you been coping since you learned you're psychotic?" Quote, I have never heard anyone call me that in my entire life. I looked at her like she was crazy and asked when was I ever psychotic. And she looked at my mom and sighed. Turns out, my therapist told my mom that I was psychotic and that I need go to a mental institution. But I have never heard this in my life. Does this break HIPAA? Even if it's not true, why is she telling everyone that? Ugh, I'm so mad. Sorry for the layout. I'm so mad because I am trying to better myself and my mom is spreading these rumors that I don't even know if it's true. Update. I just want to say thank you for all the comments and support that I've received from this post. It's truly overwhelming to hear that you've been diagnosed with something and you're not even the first to hear about it. I spoke with my therapist over the phone. I made a mistake in anger and yelled at her immediately. I don't know why I yelled at her, but I did. Anyway, she assured me that she did not tell my mother anything about my sessions. She said that my mother reached out to her, asking her how my therapy has been. I have no idea how she got my therapist contact information. My therapist said she could not disclose any information about my mental status and how I'm doing without permission from me. She also said what a lot of you said in the comments. The word psychotic isn't a regular word she'd use to describe someone who is psychotic. She also stated that a lot of people my age, younger, or older have thoughts on hurting people, but she doesn't believe that I could act on those thoughts. She said she has full confidence that sometimes my anger gets the best of me and I lash out. But she doesn't believe I would hurt anyone. Also, she said she wouldn't call someone psychotic for having thoughts. She said she'd never break my trust or endanger her career for my mother, who seems to be the root of my therapy. And I believe her. I'm taking the advice that a lot of you have given me and cutting off my mother. It is hard because my father and I are very close. But I know I will be a lot happier and mentally stable when she's out of my life. I sent her a long message on Facebook saying that I will no longer be coming home for any holidays. She responded with 2 paragraphs about how she always tried to raise me right and how I went downhill when you became a teenager. She said she taught me right from wrong since I was a child. But something went wrong and she was physically scared of me by the time I turned 16. She said I was violent and cruel towards her and I never listened to her. I would like to add that I was a wild teenager. I didn't follow the rules. I snuck out. I dated people I shouldn't have. But I was never aggressive towards her. I may have told her lies and yelled at her before, but I never physically laid a hand on her. She tells my family that I used to throw books at her. And if I did, I must not remember. My dad must not remember either. My sister, who cut my mom off the moment she turned 18, doesn't even remember me throwing or hitting her. Anyway, that's the end of the story. It's very summed up and I tried not to make it too long. Safe to say, I will never talk to her again unless it's me sitting at her grave ranting about all the pain she's caused me throughout my life. And for those asking about my aunt, she didn't know that my mom lied because I don't speak to her often. When I told her that I was never psychotic, she went off on my mom. Again, thank you for the support. Goodbye for now. A commenter asked how her dad reacted to all of this. My dad didn't know what to say. He's the only one I talk to about my therapy sessions, and he always comments about how good I am doing in life. He says the therapy has helped me and he sees a major difference. When the truth came out, my parents got into a huge fight. I asked him if he told her what therapist I was seeing and he admitted that he did. So that's how she contacted my therapist, and that's how she tried to convince my therapist to give her the details on my sessions. I am not sure if I need to cut him off as well. I'm flaring this concluded as Oop has resolved the issue of her therapist telling her mom about her sessions and has gone no contact with her mother. She said she taught me right from wrong. Right from wrong. What's right, as in lying about what a person's therapist said to make it seem like they have serious mental disorder and potentially causing Oop to report the therapist and make them lose their license? That kind of, what's right? She also stated that a lot of people my age, younger, or older have thoughts on hurting people. I've not been a teenager since very long, and I still have those intrusive thoughts. Mostly in the subway after a tiring day, and I think, look at that person near the edge of the quay. I could push them on the tracks and what the fuck is wrong with me? And I take a big step back. Most people have variations on these thoughts, but they also have a safety switch and don't act on them. Nothing psychotic about it. The aunt is unsung hero in this situation. If she hadn't told Oop what the mother said to rest of family, Oop would have been in the dark about why her mother was treating her like that, on top of assuming her therapist broke HIPAA rules. Instead, she basically gave Oop push needed to go and see on her lying mother, and maybe go and see on her loose lips father too. No one else seems to have picked up on the mention of another sibling who cut off contact with mom when they became 18. So yeah, mom is the real problem, and being the second sibling to go and see with mom shows where the problem really lies. Yeah, hell no. Sounds like the mother is scared that she'll be blamed for her daughter's mental health issues. So she's just laying the foundation for her own alibi. How can you blame me when she has always been psychotic? It's not my fault. I have my own issues to deal with. But I'm also vindictive AF. If this was done to me, I would have reduced mommy dearest to tears. Sounds like the real, psychotic, person in this family also like to engage in a bit of projection. She was preparing the groundwork. The flinching. The not looking Oop in the eyes. Mother was either pretending to show aunt she was the victim, or she was expecting Oop to start screaming. Now, all she is a liar. Fuck her. And her dad should be ashamed to give information to the abuser of both his children. But, hey, enablers gotta enable. Oop definitely needs to cut her dad off too. Or at least put him on a very strict information diet. He was the reason her abusive mom found out how to contact the therapist to begin with. Me. Reading the title. $50 says the mom made it all up to try and get Oop to stop going to therapy. Me. After reading the post. Really? Nobody is gonna say it? My literal first thought after reading the title was that the mother made it all up. Unfortunately, it looks like she's going to have to distance herself from her dad as well or put him on an information diet. My sister who cut my mom off. Have one child go NC is maybe considered unfortunate. To have both go NC looks like carelessness. Well, the father is no better, to be honest. He's just hiding behind mom. Some people just want to see others fail. I hope Oop is able to go NC without any issues. OP's mother sounds like a serious psycho. No wonder her kids, including Op, went NC on her. I really want to pull out an Uno reverse card. Her father is choosing the abuser rather than his own children. He can't be trusted with any personal info unless he also walks away from this miserable woman. Mommy Dearest has gone off the rails completely. Op and her sister are better off without her. Let's hope the therapist opens their next session with discussing why Oop believed her mom and then immediately reacted by screaming at her therapist. I think Op needs a bit more than therapy. Or needs a different therapist who'll help her accept what her mother is. The mother sounds psychotic.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.